Hello everyone. Today I wanted to introduce you to my family history. Specifically, I wanted to introduce you to my father's family history. This is actually a diagram of his family tree. This portion here in red is his German ancestry. We can trace this all the way back to 1563 in Bavaria, which is in part of modern-day Germany. This map here shows where they were actually born and lived. Every dot here represents a person in my family tree that we've been able to trace back to where they lived. As you can see, they have the line, pretty much all of them pointing straight to that center, which is actually a town known as Kattenhochstadt, Germany. This little dot here, this yellow dot number 4, was actually a very special man named Johann Schreiner, and he lived there, in that town. This is the home where he was born and raised in. His father, George, was the mayor of the town, and they were what was known as landed peasantry, which is a term meaning they owned significant portions of land without being nobility. So very, very wealthy, but not not among the noble class. They didn't have a title. Okay. After George died, Johann decided not to receive his inheritance in the form of land, but in the form of money. The money that he received, he used to buy an apartment building in Nuremberg, Germany. The rest of the land that was there, he was remaining to his sisters. This is the apartment building he actually purchased in Nuremberg. Um, in this apartment building, he actually employed a number of people, among them a cook, a maid, a chauffeur. He was a very, very well-off small business owner. While he was living in Nuremberg, he met and married a wonderful lady. Her name was Marguerite Schwimmer, and together they were apparently the life of the town. This is them actually about to attend a fancy ball. Here they are in actually a traditional German costume, and you know they are obviously very, very happy and enjoyed it. Shortly after that photo, though, this is a photo of them in an automobile that Johann owned, one of two that he owned at the time. This is also them with three of the children that they had at the time. Among those children, we have Alex, or Alexander, apologies, Alexander, Emma, and Hildegard. They also later had a son named William while they were in Germany. But the two vehicles, like I mentioned before, that they owned, they used to have a cab company as well as a limousine service. So they were doing very, very well while they were in Germany. However, in 1912, uh, shortly after the sinking of the Titanic, Germany was undergoing an economic downturn at the time, and my family was impacted just the same as any other. Because of this downturn and what my great-great-grandmother could see coming in economic and the political powers of the time, they felt that Germany was not the best place to stay and to continue to raise their family. So she prevailed upon her husband Johann to sell both their apartment building that they had and the two vehicles that they owned. And with the sale of these, they financed their immigration to America. So after they left Germany, they crossed to England and they boarded a ship known as Canada of the White Star Line, which is a sister ship of the famous Titanic that went down, of course. After they arrived in the United States, they had an additional child named Norma. Uh, upon their arrival here as well, 2 years after their arrival, they lost, well, correction, they were witness to the war that was breaking out in Europe at the time, the First World War. The family that remained behind were actually caught in the crossfires there, and it was a very tough time for them, as we all know. But this here is a photo of them in the United States in the early 1920s. This is actually the first family photo we have of them after their arrival in the United States. And I wanted to call attention to specifically this particular person right here. This is Emma Schreiner. She is my great-grandmother. Shortly after this photo, in 1925, Emma met and married a man named Sheraton Stringham, And among the other children they had, their first child, their first daughter as well, was Elaine Stringham, my grandmother. In 1948, they took a photo, and this is that photo. This is a 4-generational photo. Right here we have Johann, who came over from Germany, his daughter Emma, her daughter Elaine, and then my father Michael. This is their story that they lived through. I'm very grateful for everything they did for it. The information about this particular story, most of it I got from this book, which was actually published by the descendants of Emma Schreiner, and it includes her memoirs and what she went through, as well as some accounts of her mother and father. I'm very grateful to everything that they did, because of them, me and my family are able to live here in the United States and enjoy the blessings of liberty for all of us. Thank you very much for your time tonight.